personally, I feel like that's an issue we have with Nollywood, and we can blame it on like budget, but then you're not given enough time
to prepare. Yeah.
So I watched this. There was this clip I saw online one day on Twitter. So I saw this clip online. So this director was like, "Oh my god, how the actors shoot 5 scenes a day." Is a white director, by the way.
Right.
Do you understand? I was like, when do they have time to immerse into this character? There's so many multiple takes and all that. And I was like, you haven't been to have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with a guy from IC? You're going to shoot 10 scenes in a day.
Yeah. Why is it actually? I just started laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because we're having a conversation before they said action. I just kept playing it in my head.
Right.
Because of the whole role model thingy. And yeah, but basically, don't put me on some sort of pedestal. And
Right.
you know, I really hate it because you're putting me on under a lot of pressure and you're expecting a lot from me. And I don't like that. I really just want to like live. Do you understand?
So what people look to you as a role model right now because of like because of the strides you're making in your career and all of that?
Yes, sort of. You know, you find people in your comments say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, you're bigger than this. Who told you I'm bigger than? Have you met me in person? Do you know my size? Do you know how tall I am?"
Oh, good. Yeah. Basically, I have the same opinion, to be honest, because I'm not a role model, man. I'm just a guy living his life and creating art. And yeah, if you're inspired by what I do, great. But don't now like feel disappointed when you see me make certain choices and decisions. Because I'm living my life and I have my reasons. Anyways, how's the journey been for you though, role model? Tell us.
Journey. Journey. It's not been. I wouldn't say that it's been very difficult.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that I have had things offered to me on like a silver spoon and all that. I've also had to like prove myself at certain points. But you see, the funny thing about the industry we are in is that you're gonna have to keep proving yourself at every point in time and at every limelight, at every glass ceiling you break.
Right.
It's as if there's another glass ceiling you have to break on top of it before you keep advancing. So that's the tricky thing about our industry. That makes sense. I was even like, when I found out that I was going to be doing this with you, so I had to like do like a memory lane journey back to where it all started. You know, when in the movies they say, let's go back to the beginning. So I went back to how it all started. And I remember you that day when we were auditioning for Kasala, when you walked in. You know that we had all finished auditioning.
Right.
And you came in. And funny thing, when we started shooting, we started like, because we were staying together at that time at where we were lodged.
Right.
And you were saying that, oh, you're a videographer or something of that nature. And this was like your acting experience, and you're still new into like the whole acting thing.
Right.
So yeah, I just want to like get your mindset.
So for me, Kasala was like the first big thing that I'd ever done at the time. I remember that day I was on the island with one of my film bosses. He was in a meeting and I had like some time. I was just like, oh, I heard about this audition. Let me just quickly pop by while he's in the meeting. And then I got there and it was almost done. And somehow I got the gig, and that was my first time meeting you guys. I remember at the time you, Tomiwa, and Chimezi were filming MTV Sugar.
At that time, yes.
Right. And just seeing you guys and watching how you guys navigate the set just was very, how do I say, was very warm, and like there was this warm reception as well because we had to work together. We stayed in the same house. We drove to set together. It kind of just like enhanced our bond, and that translated literally onto screen where we had like I dare say one of the best chemistry on
among
on
your boys.
Yeah.
It was really interesting because like Kasala was also like my lead role when it comes to, because I had done like 401
Mm-hmm.
at the time. I'd done like 401, and then Kasala was like film lead role at
Right,
that
right,
time.
right.
So after like 401, that was series, a lot of moving parts, but Kasala was film.
Film, yeah.
And carrying a film, maybe at that time, if I had understood what it meant, I would have been so frightened. But I just saw it as, okay, this is an opportunity, and
Absolutely.
I'm walking in here and all that. And the funny thing was that we were auditioning for roles that each person wanted, because I wanted to play the character you played. I was so serious because the
Right.
character was Chikode at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was Igbo in my playing zone. So I was like,
Like,
easy, just give this guy to G.
I think that's the beautiful thing about like Kasala, the entire process. I think the four of us had to step into the shoes that we were handed.
Because I couldn't drive at that time.
You couldn't
And
drive.
you could drive
I
very
could
well, because
drive.
you literally you were driving us to set.
Yeah, I could drive and you couldn't, and your character needed to drive. I
Yeah.
can't speak Igbo. You could,
Yeah.
but my character was Igbo. Do you understand? Like,
And I had like this very conk Igbotic accent at the time.
that, yeah.
So it was funny how that character was playing Tunji, and it just
Yeah, so we
just
just
say
we just like pulled together from like um each other to
exactly.
get to make Kasala work, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about the story.
I think Kasala is like a perfect example of collaboration, because I remember while we were on set, we would tell Emma, "Oh, can we take a shot of this? Let's jump over the camera."
Mhm.
And she obliged us. It was more of like us coming together
Everybody came together.
to work together. And
It was
yeah,
it was such an
it was a
exciting
fun
time.
experience.
Such an exciting time. And just looking at like the trajectory of each of us
Yeah.
going forward from that film into like, whatever space that we are in the industry right now, Tomiwa going on to do, my siblings and I and other great stuff. You've been part of several groundbreaking projects as well. You were Prophetess.
Yeah.
You were on Rattlesnake. You were on what's this called? The one on
House of Secrets.
House of Secrets. That was amazing as well. Just seeing like your trajectory from that has, like, for me, it's been inspirational, because it's like, this guy just keeps proving himself and keeps showing like different aspects to his talent and his art. And also you've been like causing trouble on Twitter, but that's like a separate conversation.
But that's a different conversation.
No,
I
we're
was
not
saying
going
that
to
for
talk
you
about
though, it's been similar. Like post Kasala, because I think one of my major fears during Kasala was like, and it's been my major fear with every project. I'm always thinking, okay, after this now, what next?
what next.
Do you understand? What am I going to do next?
Mm.
And because of I feel like the brotherhood we shared, it was a worry for now. Everyone was like, okay, after we all do this show now, what next? And then Kasala became like this sensation. Like it traveled to festivals, people loved it. I was like, God, it was insane. And then you went on to do other projects before even Far From Home. You did this one with Lotana.
Right, there was
The was it Ajoaya?
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did Ajoaya with
yeah.
Lotana, and then you now did the African Magic series,
Right.
where your character was
Yeah.
chaotic.
Yeah, no, Brethren was one of like the most fun I've had with any character, like in my journey, because that it was literally film school for me, because it was me going to work every day and playing
Yeah.
the same character, finding new ways to make this character do amazing things on screen.
How did you feel like though being on like that kind of a project for a long time? Because I know that for Mnet, like you guys shoot for like months repeatedly, like you're almost your whole year.
Absolutely.
For Mnet.
It was a year of shoots. And for me, I think the most interesting thing I learned from that is like how how spending time with a character can help you find like the core of
That's
it.
true.
The amount of time that you invest into developing the character shows
Yes.
to some extent, because where I was playing the character on day one was certainly different from where I was with the character on the last day.
And I think that's an issue, personally. I feel like that's an issue we have with Nollywood. And we can blame it on like budget, but then you're not given enough time
to prepare. Yeah.
So I watched this. There was this clip I saw online one day on Twitter. So I saw this clip online. And so this director was like, oh my God, how do actors shoot 5 scenes a day is a white director, by the
Right,
way.
right,
Do
right.
you understand? I was like, when do they have time to immerse into this character? There's so many multiple takes and all that. And I was like, you haven't been to have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with a guy from ICT? You're going to shoot 10 scenes in a day
Yeah,
and all that. And then funny thing is that you're starting day one and they're probably giving you the heavy scene on
absolutely.
day one that has like a lot of emotional baggage. And you're like, why are you starting
Right.
with this scene?
Oh, I've had to have conversations like that with certain directors, and like production, where one of my strongest scenes
Emotionally,
emotionally in the film
psychologically.
is scheduled for the first day. I'm like, wait, hold up. And I understand that some people like to jump in the deep end, but yo,
No.
it would be better for me if I could walk my way up, especially like when it requires deep emotional commitment. But yeah, that's a thing that helps me personally. It might work differently for you. I don't know if you don't mind jumping into the deep
No,
end
I,
at
I,
first or so.
I absolutely I mind though. I mind jumping into the deep end because I'm always thinking like, I have to like have there's certain elements of this character that I have to because what it looks like on paper
Mm,
has is very different from what you when you get to set. For example,
absolutely.
when I read the script, I might say, oh, he has a boisterous bedroom and all that, and then you get there and maybe the art director is ill-equipped and he doesn't do his job. So now I have to like remove that image and play around. And then also the director's vision is also
Mm.
at play in when it comes to those things. So I always love to warm up. Let's play with like lesser emotional scenes first day. Let me put my 2 feet on the ground. And then by the second day, yeah, we can start jumping into the deep end as much as we can.
Do you have to tailor your performances to like different mediums? Because I know you've done stage as well.
Yeah.
You've done TV, you've done like film. How do these separate mediums affect how your performance is executed on the day?
I'd say that for TV and film, they are quite similar.
Right.
Because for TV, I've not done a lot of TV to start with because I haven't done like an African Magic 360, those long ass projects. I haven't been privileged to do those ones. So I can't necessarily say, but I've done like maybe 1 day, 2 day on Mnet Productions, maybe a one-off character, supporting character, one-off character, and all that on those shows. And then it's basically the same process. But I would say that there's a certain form of seriousness that comes upon you when you are doing a film. Do you understand?
Right.
Like TV, you can maybe the night before, say, okay, I'll read this thing. You read it, you're reading it and you're pressing your phone and all that. You're doing little research here and there. But then when it comes to film, there's a certain of like, okay, this character I need to understand
You
and all that. And get into it. So it's generally the same thing, but like I just feel like there's this extra air of seriousness when it comes to film.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
You always feel like with film, this film is going to travel. Do you understand? But then the funny thing is that don't even underestimate any platform because
Absolutely.
I've had I think there was a director, Xavier. So there was this film we did. He hasn't released the film. So this is like my opportunity to call him out. So we did this horror movie together. And I was, he was talking to me, I was like, where I saw you was on Tinsel. And Tinsel is TV. So it was like, I just saw you on Tinsel. I was like, this guy fits the character I'm looking for.
Right.
And that's just it. So had it been, I probably underplayed the importance of that one day I had on Tinsel. I probably wouldn't have caught the attention of the director. But then talent doesn't lie. So
once you have it, you have it.
once it's there, it's there.
Right.
Actually, once it's there, it's there. So yeah, whether TV or film, you definitely excel.
Right.
Whatever or TV, film, or stage. I love all of them. It's just like having 3 kids.
Kids. How do you liken them to kids? Please explain.
I just feel like they are all mediums to express your creativity. Do you
Right.
understand? So with stage, there's always that loudness, that over the top, larger than life persona, and that helps you. It kind of like reminds you that there is a place where you have to connect with your audience immediately. Do you understand? And then for TV and film, which is like a much more closer medium, one has more chaos behind it. The other one has a much more systematic approach to it.
Right.
But with each and every medium, there's always an avenue to express, how creative
I totally enjoyed watching you on stage, man. And I think, I don't know, like you belong on stage. First, because you sing as well, right?
Yes, I sing.
So what, like watching you in what's it called now, in Terra,
Yeah.
that play was so refreshing for me because I'd never seen, like, I know you in person, I know you're a miscreant, I know you're a terrible person in real life. This whole facade is, that's for the other people. Anyways, but I'm saying that crazy that you have, that drive, that over the top character came out to play when I watched you on stage, and like for me it was refreshing to see, because sometimes, or most times, on like in on screen, you have to tailor it,
Turning everything down.
and you have to tailor it specifically for like details. Do you understand? But yeah, I think you do amazing on stage.
Yeah. About stage, actually, one thing I actually enjoyed was it brought back memories because I was a drama coordinator of my fellowship when I was in
Right.
uni, and we did like a lot of stage. I was always playing God and Angel and all that. But
Right.
it just brought back those memories. But now, not only did it bring back those memories, I had like professional stage
Yeah,
training. I had
absolutely.
to like work with like
Absolutely. You, I mean, you work with, when, as long as stage is concerned in Nigeria, you work with like the finest.
like
Straight up.
TV.
What's your favorite genre though, of film, or yeah, anything to play?
Actually, I
Do
don't
you have
think
a
I've
favorite?
explored my favorite
What, comedy?
thriller.
Oh, thriller.
Like I want to like go like mind bending psychological thriller. Like the character you don't see
I said
coming.
this guy was sick. Do you hear? Anyways.
Character you don't see coming as a
Right,
person.
right,
Like you're just entering it and navigating it and all that. And then at the end of the day, you're like, boom, it was me all along.
right.
You understand? And then horror too, like
Yeah, that kind of.
dark horror, like startled and all that. But in this
Right.
case, I want to be the victim because like and all that. So
You don't
yeah,
wanna be
those two.
right.
So what about you though? From between Far From Home,
Right.
before getting Far From Home,
Right.
what was life and career for you like?
Um, before Far From Home, it was pretty interesting because it was me trying to find my place and where I belong in the
Because this
industry.
was after COVID.
Yeah,
Immediately
post
after
COVID.
COVID.
This was post COVID,
Yeah.
and COVID was a crazy time. First of all, COVID happened right after um I finished the 260 episodes with Africa Magic, right? I remember just as I was completing, because we always ask ourselves this question, like, okay, what next? What next? What next?
Yes.
Like that's a constant question that every actor is always asking himself. Like, right when you're finishing this project or when you're done with this project, in your mind is, okay, so what's the next thing? So I was rounding up Brethren. After Brethren, I think we finished Brethren 1st of March that year. AMVCAs was, I think, 14th or 15th that year. And it was from the AMVCAs that the whole COVID drama started.
Yes.
And after that, uh, everything was shut down.
Yes.
So like life literally was on pause, and it I was already going crazy trying to find out what's next. But turns out like everybody needed to shut down. And I think that period was one of the most defining for me, because it helped me search deeper and try to find myself and where I belong. And yeah, I reached into to my more productive side. Like that's the part that works behind the camera and all of that. And that was literally what sustained me in that period, right? While also trying to like get gigs, audition for all of that stuff. It was smack after we were coming out from
COVID.
the COVID drama that I got to audition for Far From Home for the very first time. And I also did Inspector K around that time. I did The Wait. So it was like just coming out of,
Just
yeah,
little.
there was little opportunities coming out of COVID, but I was also doing like my work behind the scenes. I was also learning how to edit. I was also, learning how to work with the cameras and all of that, all of which are very, very instrumental in my career right now.
Yes.
Because, all that knowledge comes to play whenever I'm on set. I know, how to, move around and all of that. So yeah, that was pretty much it for me. Auditioning here, auditioning there, looking for the big break. And yeah, Far From Home came, and
Yeah. Here we are.
everything changed. Right?
I'd say that for me, that COVID period, it was a moment of like faith. I did a lot of like praying because I was staying with my pastor at the
Right.
time. So we were doing like a lot of prayers during that period. We prayed. If we eat, we're like, my pastor will be like, oh, we're eating too much this period. Let's start praying. Do you understand? I will start fasting, maybe do like
Right.
10 days fasting and all that. But one thing that, that thing did to me was like I was sane in that environment. Like I
Right.
was very sane. My head was clear and all that. And it was more like someone told me something that COVID hit a restart button on the world. Like it just put the world on restart and all that. And I felt that way too, because right after COVID was when I did Rattlesnake. Right after COVID was when I did Prophetess. And right after COVID was when I did Far From Home. So it felt like everything was now like, you've been given another opportunity. Let's run. And yeah, that was just basically the thing. But then have you ever wanted to like give up on acting? Like, I'm tired of this thing. Let me pack my bag and go back to Ibadan, right?
Right. I mean, that's me every day, man. That's me every day, man. Especially like, cause I mean, in this part of the world, like there is a certain for me, for projects that I'm very careful with selecting projects that I'm a part of, right? And those projects don't come every day in this part of the world, right? So in those periods, in the time between when one project is I'm working on is here and then before the next one comes, I'm always very.
Will I not start selling recharge card?
I mean, yeah. So but you find out that those times actually help you because it's in those times, like for me, that I've learned a couple of things that just I mean, you would attest to this that every actor needs a certain amount of skill set. Do you understand?
Oh, a lot of skill
Like,
sets.
yeah, you need to learn things. You need to be it a new language, be it riding the bicycle. So in those times, I just focus on like trying to learn something new. And that's what helps me not to give up because in my mind, I'm telling myself that I'm learning this thing for something that's coming in the future. It's basically faith. I don't know if you know.
For me, before the solitude makes me anxious. Because like I get really anxious and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But now I appreciate the solitude. Because I now have time to like, do some like healing. Do you understand? Because sometimes you filmed and you haven't taken time to like de-stress and also, you get to hit the gym, you take yourself out to some nice dinner now that we can afford it. Not back then. We couldn't.
Right.
And, you're just find ways. I find ways to heal myself in those moments of solitude. Like, I go to watch movies that probably I missed when I was filming.
The work does take a lot from you, man. Like nobody really knows how
like once I'm on set, I shut down.
Yeah.
If you're in an emergency and you come when I'm on set, you die. I swear to God. I kid you not.
I feel like
because like I'm like 100%. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
No,
there's no going away. There's no changing that.
So you can probably see me fighting on Twitter while I'm on set, but I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
You can't reach me, but you see me online. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it happens, and like I feel like a lot of people don't understand that part of the work, and like for them it's just he's online, so he definitely has to be available, and he has to. Why is he online on Twitter and not picking my calls?
Yes.
I might not be where I can't talk.
Yeah.
But I might be able to tweet something.
I can say something. Do you understand? And all that.
You get but yeah, the work does take a lot from you, and like most times you need to de-stress, you need to recharge, you need to find a way to just refill yourself after emptying out, on set and all of that.
I just remembered something. We did a short film together.
Oh my God.
We wore white and blue school uniform.
Right, the list.
The list.
Oh my God, that's available. So you guys don't watch that.
Why did you tell them not to watch it?
No, I'm just messing around.
We looked like babies.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Damn.
It was so much fun actually working. Oh my God, we worked together a bunch of times actually.
Actually, our paths have crossed. And then I remember when I came to audition for Far From Home, because I read with you, and you told me, Emeka, you have to get this. I want you to get this. Right. That was like very like, my guy has me kind of moment for me. Because like, we are in an industry where it happens to also, if they call you for a role, it's
Yeah.
either you, Tomiwa, Chimeze, or myself.
Mhm.
It plays along that line a lot of times. Like,
Absolutely.
do you understand? It's as
Yeah.
if we are
Yeah,
interchanging and
yeah,
all that.
absolutely.
So when I came to audition for Far From Home, you're like, guy, go there and kill it.
Yeah.
Like, kill it. Like,
Yeah.
so I just had that ginger when I was entering. And then entering Far From Home, and then, guy, I would like to say this, like, I know I've said it off camera, but like, you did amazing work in Far
Thank
From
you,
Home.
man.
Like, it was really inspirational, like watching you every day.
Thank you.
I haven't done like a lead role in a long time. So, but I understand the pressure that comes with
Recurring the show.
carrying a show. Like, if that show is messed up, it's your name on the line.
Right.
Nobody would probably remember the production company that
Mhm.
handles that show. But as they say, it's not that show that Mike Afolarin did.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it was a lot of pressure, and I could see it daily, like, bro.
No, Far From Home was, for me, it was a collaborative effort, and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted people that I could trust.
Yeah.
You know, in every character, it was such a joy for me working with my friends on Far From Home, because I can say that's one of the things
Yeah.
that really gave me strength to like push through the entire project. Because like I was shooting for I shot for 5 months, right? From October to February. I mean, you guys had time to chill.
Well,
You guys had
we
time
had
to,
breaks,
but like
so
I was
we were
literally, I was
flexing.
on set every day. I was on set. We're shooting in Wilma. I'm there. We're shooting in the club. I'm there. We're shooting.
It's funny how we'll be throwing a party
Right.
in the apartment, and then you just walk in with your bag. I just walk straight into your room.
Because bro, I have to go and shoot the next day, man.
Because yeah, we're on the call sheet the next
Yeah,
day.
but like that for me was very important. Having my friends around, because I know that like whenever I'm lacking in energy, it's something that you can like
Yeah.
you can get. That's why at the audition I was like, "Yo, bro,
better. He was like, better get
you get," because I know that I would need to draw from your energy and say we've worked together. I understand how you work. I understand. I understand. You know, we have a certain chemistry, and I
Chemistry
know
that
that
work
that would
together.
come in handy.
And the funny thing was that our characters had like a dynamic.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Far From.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was fun for me, to be honest. So I think, yeah. So literally same thing, right? When I walked into audition for my first time audition for Far From Home, I was supposed to audition with Tommy, and Tommy was she also gave me that was my first time meeting her as well. And like she gave me a certain reassurance, and I'm like that really helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to audition, and like it calmed me down.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something that we actors should imbibe. Do you
Yeah.
understand? It's not always this guy, if he's here, I might not get this. Sometimes it's more like, guy.
Does anybody ever make you feel like that? Like you walk into an audition space and you see some guy and you're like,
I don't think so. I think probably I'm the one that makes other people feel like that. Oh my god, this Emeka guy is here.
yeah.
I'm joking, but like, but like, but like, I always enter the room with an air of confidence in my head.
Right, absolutely.
I don't like calculating, because in that moment I get distracted from
okay.
what I am doing. So I hype myself before I get into an audition. You need to see the mental pep talk I give myself. I'm like, you're the star. You're entering there. They're gonna recognize you. They're gonna know you. And it's because I'm battling with I'm having stage fright. It is always, and there's this funny thing that happens before I enter to audition. I feel this insane urge to pee. Every audition I've ever done, there's
Right.
always this insane urge to like go and use the bathroom before I enter the hall. So
do you prefer self tapes or like in-person auditions?
in-person auditions, because I love to ask questions. I can be like, I'm like, so
Right.
what do you think of this character? Does he smile a lot? Is he foolish? Do you understand? Just like to engage them and get where the casting director's mind is in for the audition. So when I'm walking into a room, I'm always hyping myself. I'm telling myself, oh, you're the superstar and all that, just so that I don't get intimidated by other people there.
I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they try to intimidate. I don't know. Maybe.
No, personally, the person might not be making any effort to intimidate me.
Right, but you just feel it's me.
My esteem is at play.
Right.
So, and then, a lot is on the line. There's a paycheck that you're supposed to collect. There's work that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're thinking about your career as well. So a lot of things. So all the anxiety is like kicking in, and you're like,
not even be your best day.
Do you understand?
Human being.
Do you understand? I'm going to be like, not today. I have done so and so show. I am talented. This audition doesn't determine whether I'm talented or not. Like, I just give myself pep talk. Right. So that immediately I just walk in, I just look over the head of the people on the panel. I don't look at them in the eye. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you look at them in the eye when you audition?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh my god,
I do.
very menacing.
Really? Yeah, I do.
How dare you summon me?
But no, I do, because I mean, for me, it's a different. I'm in a different mind space. When I'm going into audition rooms, I'm like, you have a casting problem. I'm here to help you solve the problem. So let's work together
That's
to
a
solve your casting problem. Do
perspective
you
to look
understand?
at it. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe it's
like,
a new pep talk. I'm like, they have a casting problem.
yeah, they're trying to
I'm
feel this
coming to
character,
solve
right? I'm
it.
coming to solve the problem. So like, you better turn up
Just
the AC and make me feel comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah. Do you understand? So
Yeah,
that's my energy when I walk
yeah.
into the room for auditions and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty much
I
that's it.
think mentally also, I also tell myself that there is a lookbook. Do you
Mhm.
understand? And you can't necessarily force yourself into this thing. For example, there is no way I can play a certain character of a certain age. Let's say the character is 42, it will be a caricature. So, like, there's a lookbook and all that. So, if I'm here, it means that there's a potential, there's a possibility. I
Right.
think a lot of factors determine whether you get a role or not. So, it could be just one thing. Maybe this person smiles better than you, and then the person gets it. I'm serious.
Would you
It's that
say
ridiculous.
though that you've found a way to handle rejection? Like, when maybe if you audition for something and you don't get a call back, how much would you say that bothers you right now?
I'd say my fate plays a huge role in that.
Right.
You know, there's something I learned, and I'll say that I'll call that God. I'm beginning to sound too spiritual, but I'll call that the
Yes, it's
sovereignty
fine.
of God in everything.
Right.
For example, if maybe I audition for a character with you and you get the character, I know that God is like a supreme being and and he gave you that. So am I questioning God's choice? That's what I'll tell myself. Like,
Right,
you understand? God that gave it to you knows better. I don't know whatever internal struggles and your relationship with him is. And he knows better. And he felt like this is Michael's moment and he deserves this moment and all that. He also knows my present circumstances and he understands that, don't worry, I will have my own moment eventually. So I just use that. That's the sovereignty of God just helps me. Like, I'm like, okay, God is sovereign. Do you understand? He takes care of even inanimate things and things
Yeah,
that are
absolutely.
plants and birds and all that. So I'm a human being. He understands. So when it's my turn, I'll shine, to be honest.
What would you say was the one reason? I mean, there's probably a couple of reasons, right? But what would you say is the top reason why you started this career?
Top reason is money. I will not like
How's that going for you right now?
In retrospect, I probably should have done tech, but here we are. So I'll say it was
Right.
money.
Child.
Because like I had
Sorry
my
to disappoint
final
you.
year school fees while I was in uni. I had used it to do something else. My father might watch this. Anyway, it's past, I've paid it. I used it to do something, my final year school fees. So I needed to make that money back. I kept thinking, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to do business.
Yeah.
So what's the next available thing? I was like, I have this gift. Why don't I use it to make money, basically?
Right.
So I started like looking up auditions and all that. Then, you see, sometimes you start out something somehow, and then all of a sudden, so I started doing research, how to be an actor, monologue, headshot, and all that. And then I saw this short film, Brave. It was done by Lola D. I don't know if you know Lola D. She did This Is It.
Yeah.
I watched that short film. It had Adesua Itomi.
Yeah.
It had, I think, Wale Ojo.
Remember you had a meltdown when you met Adeso on the trailer?
Yes, I literally, oh my God.
I have a video of that.
Oh my, I'm in love with her.
Yeah,
Like, so I watched that short film and, it was talking about a couple that they were having challenges and all that. And I was watching it on my bed on campus and I just started crying. Like, I was literally crying because the moment where, they were, her and Woloji were having issues in their marriage and all that. And then the resolution and everything. And I told myself, okay, I really want to do stuff. This effect this short film had on me, I want to do stuff that have effect on other people in this way. And that was just like, the motivation just shifted.
Right.
So if it was money, I probably would have been doing Asaba films. Because like that, you can shoot like 15 films in a month and, have a lot of bucks and all that.
Yeah.
But it became more of like, that was now the issue. I had to do my research and understood that, okay, where I can get these kinds of projects are in Lagos. I had funny dreams. Like, I used to be arrogant too. God has delivered me.
You used to be?
Oh my God. Oh, I'm still. I'm sorry. So I used to be like, so I cannot, if it's not cinema film, I'm not doing. I didn't have one movie credit to my name. If it's not cinema,
I mean,
because
yeah.
I'd seen October 1st.
Mhm.
At that time, I was like, if it's not this guy, I'm not doing.
No, of course, like you have like a certain idea of like the kind of quality that you want to do.
But the industry wakes you up,
will
doesn't
show you a different reality. But then, like, I mean, I feel like you can still be steadfast and remain.
Yeah, you can stumble a couple of times, but the righteous, no matter how many times they fall, get up.
Yeah. What is it? Do you have a project where you feel like
Ah,
you
for
should
me
have
to
done?
not mention it, you know, there's a problem. There are certain projects that, and the funny thing is that I'll
Yeah.
have to mention the platform if I speak too much. But like, once people just make a video of the project, they'll start tagging me on Twitter. It's you. You were so small back then. I say delete. It's not, they can't.
Right.
You can't even know I'm the one inside it. I love that I look, and I don't even look much different from you because you can tell that this is Emeka.
You will tell. Don't worry.
Jesus, some
Go and look
project.
for. I'll tweet it again.
Those projects. So
Yeah.
you do some projects. The truth is that people always think like, oh, you must have a clean CV. You shoot rubbish. You shoot rubbish.
I mean, yeah, in Nigeria here,
You shoot rubbish.
might not necessarily get the projects that you want to be a part of, like right from the start.
Yeah.
It might take a while for you to work yourself to it.
But you get it eventually.
Absolutely.
You absolutely get
Absolutely, you get
it.
it.
Absolutely get it. Now, yeah.
Final 15 minutes.
Okay.
So both of you are quite active on social media.
Are we?
Are we?
Yes.
Yeah, no, Instagram, how do you feel that, TikTok, how do you feel that your social media influence, or does it impact your work as an actor? If it does, how so? And what role does that play in your work as an actor?
I would say that to me, I think it's a disadvantage.
A disadvantage.
Yes.
Right.
Because okay, so I would say this. I'm one person that I've always taken like advice from like my senior colleagues and all that. I remember one time they were doing like a reality show. There was an actors reality show one time, and I walked up to Chagozemi Wakama, Chai, because I love Chai a lot. I watched her on This Is It, and I absolutely respect and adore her. And I walked up to her and I was like, "What do you think about actors doing reality shows?" And she told me something. She said, "It takes away your mystery." Because every actor has a mystery. So doing reality shows takes away that mystery from you. And that's something else I feel like social media does. That's the advantage because, for example, there are certain things I will do now that no longer shock people.
Right.
For example, when I did Far From Home, everybody had this, oh my God, he's so quiet. Look at him, innocent. Until I displayed, and everybody was like, oh my God, this guy isn't so quiet. Now, that would have been so beautiful to see in a film. I'm like, oh my God.
So that
Is this the Emeka from Far From Home?
Right.
Jesus, this is what he's doing. Oh my God, that mystery would have been retained.
Yeah.
But now we need to have personality on social media because social media is basically a personality platform. So you need to show that, oh, I can be funny, I can vibe. Do you understand? I'm still part of the clique. Do you understand? So it just takes away that, for me, that's the disadvantage, I would say. The numbers take away that mystery because everybody's looking for the next juicy thing you do, the next juicy gist. And sometimes like I said, back then, I used to be very arrogant too. I don't post on my social media for months because I'm like, it's going to take away my mystery. But now that I have the privilege of disappearing, I no longer want to be disappearing because I'm not addicted to this drug on social media.
Right.
Do you understand? So I just like takes away your mystery. Like, I admire actors like Chiwetel Ejiofor. You don't see them on social media, but you just see them on their next project. And this industry doesn't offer us the luxury of mystery.
Yeah.
It doesn't offer us a luxury of mystery.
I feel like you can decide how to wield that power, because you can argue that actors with social media presence get a certain, or they have a certain type of trajectory in their careers that that is somewhat faster than people without such a strong social media presence. And for me, I think it's very dependent on how you use the app. Because out here, like you said, you need a certain type of talkability around you as a talent. But also, you don't necessarily have to show your entire life on social media. There is platforms that could help you push your craft to like the rest of the world easily. Like TikTok, you can literally do a TikTok these days, and someone from France will see it on their
See?
FYP, and
Yeah.
like you never know, you might get a gig from that.
I'd also want to say that the thing about social media and its trickiness is the fact that you need it. In
Yeah, it's a
certain kind of
necessary evil.
way.
That's why you need to find the perfect way to
Balance.
to use the power
Balance.
basically, because trust me, it helps in a certain type of way. But for the most part, it's just distractions, to be honest, because I'm the master of ghosting social media.
Yeah, you do that.
I
Just vanish.
yeah, because I mean, it could be a particular time when I'm trying to focus on a project or in a character. I don't have the mental power to be engaging and
But now
responding to
you
comments.
influence for brands. How do you now balance the whole thing up?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm getting paid to do it, so I'm gonna have to do it. You get, yeah. So
I
like
think that's the advantage.
that's what I
Extra
do.
bucks. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
extra
that's what I
bucks.
do right now. Most times, my last few posts have been paid posts. Like
Yeah.
if you're not paying me, then why am how many pictures do I have to take for you to see my picture? Like you know what I look like, so definitely you really don't.
Yeah. I would say that, sometimes, the actors, I know that some actors, because me, I want to be seen as someone that takes his craft seriously.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And not only do I want to be seen, I also want, when my work comes out, you can see that there's an intention behind this boy. Do you understand? He knows what he's doing. I want to be respected. So I personally didn't care for numbers as a person. I was like, okay, for example, there was a time when I didn't have a lot of followers, but specific people were following me. I had people like Tolu Ajayi following me. I
Yeah.
had Mildred Oku
And that
following
meant
me.
more to
So
you
that meant
than
more
like
to
the
me
number,
than
yeah.
the whole of.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So those serious people following me meant a lot to me than the whole of.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
understand? So I just want people to see that. Oh, so and when these people are following you, it shows that they see something. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a future in it. So it makes me. I understand that, okay, people are perceiving me as a serious person. So, but then I'd always tell actors that, see, do you? She, Zoe Sandala, the one that did
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, that lady is a TikTok freak. Like she does TikTok every day on set. Like she's filming and she's doing TikTok. You have to find a thing to distress, something that, and I feel like that's what Twitter does for me. Like I just go there, I just air my opinion, even though now I'm now being very careful.
Yeah.
Because what you do can be misconstrued, but then you just have to like find a way to like connect with your audience, so that it's not every time you have a project you come out and dance for them and vanish. You just come out, you understand, and then show them that I'm still here. Your guys see, maybe drop 1 or 2 pictures, maybe do like a Q&A. Do you understand? And then I remember the most important thing I wanted to say: we don't have publicists in Nollywood. So how do you put your work? How do you put yourself out there? Because over there in Hollywood, your publicist handles like your image, basically, like how you appear online, magazine covers, interviews, etc. They have like platforms where actors can come and talk about like their process and all that. But here, even when you go to the red carpet, they ask you, "Oh, are you in the film?" You're like, "I'm on the poster." It has happened to me 2 times. I'm like, don't these guys do their research? So that's the sad part of it. Once you're not like a household name, they don't necessarily take you seriously. And that's what publicists should do. So right now, the only publicists we have in Nollywood is our social media. So don't, even though you want to be perceived, people that will take you seriously will take you seriously. It is your work that will make people take you seriously, not necessarily whether you're doing TikTok. Viola Davis, there's no day that woman doesn't post anything on her page. But you can't take away from her that she's
who she is. Yeah. She has a whole life and career outside of like social media.
Yeah, and make your money from social media.
For me, I think first of all, for Nollywood, the future is exciting. The industry is getting to a point where people are pushing the boundaries. People are trying to do more ambitious stories. You know people are doing boxing films. People are doing action. People are blowing up shit.
You understand? We're boarding cars.
Yeah,
People are jumping
a
from
while
buildings.
back, this wasn't the norm. You get
We're doing pion.
we're just disappear. That's the
Disappear.
best.
That's the best
trick that I could do. But right now, people are investing more in films, and people are breaking records, 1 billion.
And beyond.
So I think the future is exciting for Nollywood. I'm so happy to be a part of this industry right now. I'm anticipating more international collaborations with like international studios and stuff.
For you, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for me and just generally for the industry. yeah, I'm looking forward to a point where like actual Nigerian actors will be in like the big Hollywood blockbusters. Um, and bringing their authenticity, they are pulling their weight and all of that. Personally, for me, I would say future is, maybe doing a couple productions of my own, maybe not necessarily like starring in it, but just being behind the scenes and putting like my knowledge of everything that I've learned in my journey to work. Yeah, basically that's what the future is looking like for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. I just say that similar, you know,
Yeah.
similar for me. Like I feel like I have so much to do acting wise, but I think that I would also step behind the camera as well and then do more collaborative work, like, go behind the scene, maybe EP with someone, a couple of my friends who just come together, pool resources, do
Absolutely.
a film. Do you understand? I was even having a conversation with a friend yesterday and was like, me, let's do a film together. I was like, can I? I was like, stop underestimating yourself.
Yeah,
You spent
absolutely.
like how many years in this industry? People that just come in. There was a tweet I saw by someone. He said that if you see how mediocre people in your line of work are excelling and you are there, just
With all
like,
your knowledge.
with all
So
my knowledge and I'm not doing anything. Like, please. So I just feel like I'm going to, and then yeah, to international collaborations. You know, after Far From Home, the big question has always been, oh, what next? What next? What next? And
yeah,
I've always had like it's been like a thing of like I always want like the next project has significance, more significance than the last one.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
always been like, okay, what's that next significant
yeah.
project? And we're working towards it. We're working towards it
Absolutely,
and putting
absolutely.
ourselves out there. And
With
like
that.
I said, the sky is always
Always a starting point, man, because
we
that's
feel
why.
jam now and we are shooting. Say, I can't do this. I can't hold my powers anymore.
What?
Yes, the like superhero
Yeah,
sci-fi and all that shit. Like,
yeah. No, but I mean, for me, it will be more about telling more authentic
yeah.
stories to us, more like Nigerian. Like, man, that's one of the reasons why I did House of God, because it's so
Oh,
different.
House of God
Yeah,
was
it's so
you
different
make
from.
cool.
It's so different from what like you would normally expect. I was speaking a totally different language. I had to learn a couple of skills, horse riding, stunts, and all of that.
That was so beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally enjoyed that. And so doing more projects like that is something I look forward to 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 being a part of, like, and just growing the industry generally.
Is there any character, any person in a biopic you don't want to play?
That I would want to play.
Yeah, biopic of someone.
I walked in here, someone said I can pass for like a whiskey biopic, and I was like, okay, well, now.
Whenever you're ready.
But I mean, just but I mean, yeah, I mean, because whiskey is still very much alive, so
Yeah.
his story is still very much running. So
Yeah,
so when that time comes, I don't know, maybe I'll still be fitting.
Fit
Whiskey
in.
or Ashake, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But it'll be cool, man. It'll be cool. Yeah, yeah, go. I know you enjoyed this way more than I did, so go on.
Yeah, you think that's the you're always full of yourself. You think the world revolves around you. I was telling people in production, I was like,
Right.
Mike keeps me here for 5 more seconds. I'm
Right.
leaving. Is my management aware I'm here by this time? But yeah, it's always like fun. Like whenever I hear that, oh, I'm doing something with Mike, I'm doing
Yeah.
something with Tomiwa, I'm doing something with Chimezi, I'm super excited. Like
The
guys,
same,
oh my God,
same
let's
actually.
enter. So
And
it sound like it.
It's amazing. It's amazing how like people. I mean, I say this all the time, and I feel like people don't take it seriously, but I feel genuine love
Yeah,
and respect
yeah.
for you guys. Like you,
Same here.
Tomiwa,
Same
Chimeze, and like every young actor pulling their weight right now. It's genuine love, and I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, the
at
sky
the
is
top of
just
their
a
game.
starting point. Sky is just a starting point.
Always a pleasure
Always a pleasure.
to see you, and I know that
Yeah.
one day your pride will catch up with you.